let's get started. Alright, and I'm feeling just a little bit hungover today. My eyes are feeling it. You can definitely see how dark they are. So I'm just going to be using the Grace and Stella anti-wrinkle and energizing eye mask. And they just come in a pouch like this. They come in like a little tray which has a lot of like oily product in it. So just be careful when you're opening it. I'm actually going to use my table over here, my dresser. It's like my face is taking a nice big drink right now. It feels so good. So I'm just going to toss the packaging. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in. So, I'm not going to do anything crazy for my first video. I am going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe, which I absolutely love. I've used it a few times now, and the colors are just so beautiful. Like you can create any kind of look with this palette. You can do a crazy eye look, you can do like a nice natural, like it's just a very versatile palette. So I think we're just gonna go, I actually did a look last night and filmed it, but it was kind of like just a haphazard video. I've been filming a lot of like small videos just to try and get used to the camera and used to hearing myself in a video and stuff. This will be the first video on my new YouTube channel, which I am super excited about. I wanted to post the one last night, but my friend Noelle ended up coming over while I was getting ready and my camera died like 5 times, so I'm just gonna scratch that one. I might put a little bit of, might put a couple bloopers in from it because it's actually pretty funny. But I'm just gonna film this one for now. I just love how these feel under my eyes. And they smell so good. They smell amazing. Alright, so let's get started on the eye. I'm just going to be using a small mirror that I have here, just because I'm too far away from the viewfinder on the camera to use that. And for concealer, I am using the Maybelline Brightening Creamy Eye Concealer in the shade Fair, and the number is 10. Number 10. So I'm just going to be taking, let's use the Beauty Blender. I just have my Beauty Blender here. This is also from Eco Tools, I believe. It might be the Equate brand. I don't know. They're right next to each other, so couldn't tell you. But I'm just taking the Maybelline Master Fix by Face Studio Wear Boosting Setting Spray. We're just going to use this to dampen up this Beauty Blender a little bit. And we're just going to be patting in this concealer. So now that we just have that on, I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores setting powder. This shit makes a mess everywhere. Take some in the lid, my Beauty Blender, and I'm just gonna pat this on my eyes. But that did wonders for my under eye. Like, it took all the puffiness away, and I didn't even have it on for, I think I had them on probably 10 minutes. So now we're just gonna get on into it. I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, like I said before. And I'm gonna be doing probably just like a nude halo eye today, just something really simple, just because I don't really have anywhere to go or anything to do. It's a Sunday, and I prefer to just stay inside and not do anything. So I'm just gonna do a nice simple eye look today. Just gonna take the color Silk Cream. So that is this one right here, this third shade in. Gonna take this shade all over the lid to just kind of cover up anything that the concealer didn't get. Okay, so now that we have our base done, I'm gonna go in with a, let's see what kind of brush we want to use. I have no idea what brush this is, but it's just a small eyeshadow brush. I've literally had this in my collection forever. It's probably one of my first brushes actually. So it's pretty old, but fortunately it's good quality, so I've never had it really fall apart. It's staying pretty nice still. Nice and fluffy, but still kind of dense. So it's good for building up color. And I think the shade I'm gonna go in with is, let's try this. I think it's Filt'r. It's this one right here. I'm trying to look on the back, but this one right here. And I'm just gonna go in and really pack it on the brush and dust it off a little bit. And then we're just gonna do this on the outer corner. Just gonna do the same thing to the other eye. See that nice little V shape? That's what we're looking for. Just kind of follow up your crease. I don't try to put my brush directly in my crease. I try to put it a little bit lower. That way I can use the other side of the brush too, and when it goes in my lid like this, it's actually pushing it into my crease and going up above my crease a little bit, because I don't want to get too high and not have enough room for the brow highlight. Okay, so we're just gonna put some more on. And I'm literally just stippling in one small space here because I saw this before. I can't remember who told me about the halo eye thing. But if you put more product towards your nose on the inside of the halo eye, it can make your eyes come closer together. And then if you put it just like on the very edge of your eyelid, it can make your eyes look farther apart. So depending on what kind of look you're going for and your eye shape, I would try doing that. If your eyes are closer together, then I would try to focus it more on the actual eyelid. And if they're further apart, I guess I would put more towards my nose to kind of close that gap. I feel like my eyes aren't very like far apart or close together. They're just kind of like in the middle of my head. So I just kind of do whatever. I just kind of pack it in the corner. I'm not too concerned about how close my eyes are, I guess. Not too worried about it. Okay, so that's that shade. And then I'm actually gonna grab a smaller brush, and this is the Eco Tools Petite Eye Shading brush. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And this will be nice to really pack on the darker shades. So I believe I want to go in with this color right here, and that is the shade Buns. Sorry, it's like backwards on here, so it's over here, but the shade is actually like on the other side, so it's kind of confusing to look at. I'd rather just have them like inserted below instead of trying to flip it around, because it's kind of hard to tell which one you're looking at. So I'm just packing that shade on this brush, and then again I'm just going to focus a tiny little V on the very outside of my eyelid. Now we're going to take, where are you? There we go. This unlabeled blending brush that I have. It's just an eyeshadow blending brush, nice and fluffy. And I'm going to take the base shade that we used, and now we're just going to blend it. I'm just going in with that big fluffy brush. And at the very top of where the darker eyeshadow starts is where I'm gonna blend. So I'm very lightly just blending that in. And I will say that this Buns color and a lot of the other warm tones blend really easily. Go back in with this brush here with Buns and just kind of tap that in a little bit. And I'm just switching back and forth between brushes, trying to achieve the same depth from one eye to the other. I think it's coming out pretty nicely. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with this blending brush, and I'm going to use the middle shade that we used to just go over the top of my eyelid and kind of connect these a little bit. Still trying to avoid the actual middle of my eyelid. I'm just blending the top together. Very light hand, barely touching my eyes. Okay, and I just want to build up that color a little bit more, so I think I'm gonna use a darker shade. So this one will be Mocha, which is this shade right here. And I'm just using this Tensor eyeshadow brush, packing it on there, and then pressing it into the lid. So then I'm just taking the smaller brush again from Eco Tools and packing this Mocha shade in the inner corner. See, and that's why you want to keep these darker shades away from your brow bone, so then you have more room to blend and you're not like way up in your eyebrow like, oh no, what happened? No, I have no room to blend. And these just blend so nicely. We're just gonna go in with the light shade now. This faint, and then this one over here is Obsessed. They're just real nice highlighting shades here. You can see this is Obsessed. So pretty. Alright, so I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of swirl it in to the product. This is just the faint color first. And then I'm just going to pack it on the center of my lid. a nice highlighting shade. So then I'm gonna go in with the denser eyebrow brush, or eyeshadow brush again, and now I'm gonna go in with Obsessed. Called Abyss. I think I just called it eyeshadow on my chin. It's just the black shade here. And I'm just gonna take this petite eyeshadow brush and I'm just gonna pack that, let's get a little closer here, just pack that into my lash line. I'm also gonna mix in Mocha just because that's just a little too harsh. I've had barely any fallout with this, and I just used Abyss, which is black, pretty much. Might be like a slightly, yeah, I mean it's pretty black. And I didn't have any fallout at all. I don't see any black on my face. So then I'm just gonna clean out that brush we just used for the eyeliner. And I'm just gonna use a makeup wipe actually. Just because I want to use the same brush, but I don't want to have any of that dark shade on my brow bone. Using those same shades, so Faint and Obsessed, right here, for the brow bone. So same as what we used for the actual highlight part of the halo eye, we're just gonna go in on the brow bone. And I'm just using that Eco Tools brush again and just packing it on there. I'm actually going to take a little bit of the satin shade. Oh yes, look how nice that is. That's what we want. And that shade that I used to just kind of brighten that up is called And Light. So it is lightening my eyebrow. So just doing the same for the other eye. And I brought that down just a little too far, so I'm just going over with the Silk Cream shade, which we've been using as the base and blending shadow. And I'm just going to cover that up just a little bit. Just because I don't want that much brow bone accentuation. And then I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to go in with those three colors and just highlight, good, and a little bit closer. Not my actual corner, but just below. Because we don't want to ruin that halo look we have going on by popping it right in the corner. So I'm just popping it below. That's what we have right now. Right now I'm just going to be doing my eyebrows. And I use the Catrice Cosmetics Slimatic Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. It says it's waterproof, but it's like a cream pencil. Not really sure how that works, but I really like this. Here, I'll just show it to you quick. So it just has this spoolie on one end, which I've already used, so it's kind of gross. And then I'll show you the pencil. It's just super thin. So then we're just gonna go in with the Maybelline Total Temptation mascara. This stuff is the shit. It is so good. It is so nice. And it smells like coconut. Apparently it has like coconut extract in it or something. So I got everything on my face, got my face all prepped. And now I'm just gonna go in with, let's mix some shit. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna mix the Maybelline Dream BB Pure 8-in-1 Beauty Balm Skin Clearing Perfector in the shade 110 Medium Sheer, Light Medium Sheer Tint. This is the lightest shade that they have in this. Lightest shade that they have. And I still feel like it's a little dark on my skin. Like I mostly just wear it in the summertime when I already have like a tan and I don't want to throw on any other foundation. I just kind of put this on and it's just nice and sheer, but like covers up a lot of my redness and my under eyes a little bit. So we're gonna mix some of that with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Beige. So I'm gonna mix those two, and then we're also gonna mix the Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 140. So that's this one. And you do have to shake this quite a bit. It definitely separates a lot. So I'm gonna mix all of these foundations with the Tarte Maracuja oil. And I did break the cap, so it had a nice gold cap and I broke it. I'm just gonna put probably 3 drops. My face is a little bit dry looking under these foundations, so we're just gonna mix that all together with my finger. So I'm just mixing that all together. Using the Eco Tools Classic Foundation brush to spread this out. I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender, which I've already sprayed down with the Master Fix, and I'm just gonna spray just a little bit more on this beauty blender and push that in. Anyway, so I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit on my foundation. So it's had a little bit of a chance to dry down. Now I actually did have to charge my camera up again. But just a little bit of breakage on my nose and a little bit of creasing around the eye. I think I might just go in with the Fenty Beauty and just put like a little bit, just kind of use it almost to conceal. And then we're gonna go in with that It Cosmetics setting powder again. And we're just gonna set the under eye, and then we're gonna do our under eye shadow. Okay, so first we're gonna use this e.l.f. Blending brush to do the contour, and we're using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Palette in the shade Dulce de Leche. And I'm just going to show you, covering up the highlight site because it's empty, but this is what the contour shade looks like. Then we're going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And they do have a deeper shade than this, but I like this color a lot. So I'm just taking an e.l.f. blush brush and just buffing out the contour just a little bit. I'm just gonna take that blending brush that we used on our eyelids to do our eyeshadow, and I'm just taking a little bit of the contour shade from the Wet n Wild, and I'm just contouring my nose a little bit, just in the ends. Bring it out the sides just slightly. And then I think I got just a little too deep on this side, so I'm just going to go in with that foundation brush again and just kind of buff it out. Going in with this brush and just putting a little bit of blush on. And I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Feisty. This blush is really nice. I got this in a kit, like a gift kit, probably almost 2 years ago now. And it's like, it still has so much product. I literally use it every day when I'm doing my makeup. And you barely have to use any at all, and it blends so nicely. Like, it just warmed me up just a little bit. Okay, now we're gonna highlight. So I'm gonna go in with, I'm just gonna use the same brush, but I'm gonna kind of dust out any of the darker products that we used. And I'm gonna spray it with some of that Master Fix. Just a really nice golden shade. So then we have our highlighter. And I think I'm going to add just a little bit of the shadows that we used from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Now we're going to finish the under eye, put on a little lip, and then we're done. So I'm just zooming in here so we can finish up this eye. So going back into the palette with, let's see, what brush do I want to use? I'm going to use these two brushes here, and again, they're Ego Tools. One is, the top is the liner smudge, and then the bottom is the eyeliner brush. I don't know if you can see that font on there. And we're just going to go in with the Buns shade. Now we're going to go in with the Mocha and the Abyss shades, and I'm just going to do the very outer corner of my eye, just to kind of tie in with the top and just kind of like bring it together here. See that? Just bringing that corner together. Then we're going to go in with this blending brush again, and I'm just going to take that Silk Cream shade we used before, and I'm just going to buff all this out. So now we just have a nice smoky under eye. Alright, so now we're just going to go over that highlight again. So I'm just taking the eyeliner brush, just getting that. Nice and highlighted. Okay. So now we just need to do a lip, which I'm going to use the Maybelline Truffle Tease in the shade 930. Just kind of like a nude color. I wear this literally all the time. Like, I need to find some new nude shades because, I mean, I love it. I just use it all the time. I'm just going to pop out the e.l.f. Moonlight Pearl shade. dust a little bit on this brush and just go over top of that. That way we're not losing any of that nice highlight on the Cupid's bow. Okay, now we're just gonna spray the face and then we're done. And again, I'm just using this Master Fix Maybelline spray. Spritz a little on here. And that's it. Thanks everyone that watched for watching. This is my first video and I think it went pretty well. So just hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.